I will make this movie for you.
That's the cost.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my salary.
That was your salary, $3 million. Are we talking dollar menu or supreme burritos here?
I don't know. Whatever it was, I don't even remember. I said, as long as you have coffee, I'll be there.
Absolutely.
Same thing. I wanted to ask you. There's one thing I need to have you do before we get away from First Date and start moving on to the movies after that and what you're doing now.
Yes.
There's one line you have to do this one. Do you know the line I'm talking about? It's got to be the most iconic
Which
one
one?
in there. So I'm gonna be the Asian teenager that's in the car with you. So you're gay then? You're a gay man?
Well, in the Latino community, as long as you're giving it, I'm not taking it, you're not gay.
That's it. That's the line.
And that's a cultural fact.
And that's a cultural thing.
That's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to ask you if it's a personal thing. I'm not going there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, any comes
If you are giving and not receiving, it's not gay.
No. It's not like that.
That's my part. Oh, that was a...
No, that's the truth, man. It's a cultural thing, man.
What was your username in that movie when you logged on the computer?
What was that?
What was your username when you logged?
What was it?
It was like
Latin Top,
like nine uncut something
like that.
Like
Latin top,
like Latin
being on the top,
Latin 9 uncut top or something like
top,
that.
yeah.
Oh my God! Instead of bottom.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was definite. He's a top. First Date's done. You got your second movie now. With Mr. Beltran, that's
the Grass Grows Green. That also premiered at Sundance and played at South by Southwest. We won, just like First Day, we won a bunch of film festivals. We played all over the world. I was told that if I needed to transcend as an actor, I needed to move to LA. And I was given the name of an agent by a British filmmaker director who has won a bunch of film festivals, including the BAFTA. He actually won the BAFTA award, which is the equivalent to the Oscars.
Right.
And, you have to ponder, do I leave my career as a police officer? I already went through a divorce. I'm married. I have a child.
Right.
As we know, most actors don't make crap. They don't make any money. Most actors do not get residuals. This is why we have a what right now going on.
Yeah, with the strike.
Right, we have the strike going on.
Right.
Writers and actors. And, sometimes you sign a contract. You're signing this contract into perpetuity.
Right.
You're done. Unless you have a great agent and great attorneys, and you sign a contract just like the actors from France who continue to get they're getting millions of dollars.
Oh, every time.
Every year.
Well, I have to assume it's like anything else in business. If you can't, if you're new into acting, and I'm guessing, you can only afford so much of a level of an attorney to fight for you, and that's only going to get you so much. And then once you get bigger,
and you are so eager and so angry.
That's where I was going to go with, just like with the voice acting that I do. It got to the point, like in the beginning, just so that I could get some business in and like create my reel. Mm-hmm. I'll do this for you for free.
For free?
Sure.
I'll do this for you for a
ridiculously
ridiculously insane amount of money because you want the work. You want the exposure.
You build your resume.
I am not kidding you. I told Jesus on the phone. I said, Jesus, if you give me 3 meals a day from Taco Bell and lots of coffee, I'll be there for you.
Lots of coffee.
And a place to where I can crash, Okay. And, that's how it is. That's in the indie world. Look, these cell phones that we're using right now, they shoot at 24 frames per second. Some of these phones are shooting at 2, 4, 6, 8Ks nowadays.
Right.
Look, this is not like Charles Chaplin going crank, 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 crank.
The talkies.
Exactly. And it takes more than just a camera to make a good film.
Right.
You need great actors, a great script, and great direction, and a group of people that are going to make you look good. Mm-hmm. That's a fact of filmmaking, and but things change with distribution.
Yeah.
Distribution is all. That's what it's all about. If you don't have a well-known actor, your stuff is not going to get distributed.
Yeah.
You know.
So you do The Grass Grows Green.
Yes.
And then you do, was it Cadaverella?
I did Cadaverella, which is an independent feature film that was made by a couple, the Friends. That's their last name, the Friends, in which I play the Baron of Samedi, which is a horror film.
Yeah.
And yes, and you know, it's the easiest way to make a movie is a horror film.
Yeah.
Anybody will pick up a horror film. Everybody loves horror.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is. People
Well, sometimes
love
the worse it is, the more
films.
the more of a cult following.
Oh,
you
yes,
get
cult
sometimes.
following.
So this is by Jennifer and Timothy Friend.
Timothy Friends, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
And then tell us about, we talked about that China project a little bit. So
Yeah, the China project was also made by Jesus Beltran.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, after the success of the Grass Grows Green, we actually end up winning the LA, I think it was the LA or the Latino LA Film Festival, which was a qualifier for the Oscars.
Oh, wow.
We never made it. We never passed that, but it was a,
Yeah, but that's
it was
huge. It's a huge, you're a step
huge
away.
deal.
That's a step
That's
away.
a huge deal,
Yeah.
you know? And he says, hey, man, I'm a frequent flyer. I go to China all the time. Would you like to go to China to make a movie? And I said, man, let's do it. I'm going to China. Let's do it. I don't care. So he paid for the hotels.
3 meals a day from Panda
3
Express.
meals a day.
Taco Bell, get it right, Andy.
You know, we...
Well, it's Chinese film
You
now,
know,
so we
it's
have Panda
true.
Express.
It's a great. I'm telling you, man. People have this misconception of China.
Mm-hmm.
China, man, I am telling you. China is a giant that has awakened.
Mm-hmm.
China is the example of great capitalism. Yes, they have a Marxist regime. You know, you can say, yeah, they're authoritarians or whatever. But history will teach you a lesson. It happened to the Spaniards. It happened to the British Empire, to the French, to the Romans, to the Carthaginians, and so on.
I thought he was going to say the Kardashians.
Well, maybe.
Kardashians too.
But I wonder, you know,
Bruce
it's a fascinating place that you go there and, you know, we arrived in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is like being inside a video game.
Wow.
What a phenomenal city that is. And then we went to southern China, Shenzhen, which is part of the Wonton province.
Wonton?
Wonton, like
an
the soup,
appetizer?
like the
Okay.
soup,
Right.
wonton soup, and or guangdong in Chinese, guangdong, and you know, I get a chance to see the Chinese factories where the NCAA basketballs are made.
Oh, wow.
I saw that.
Really?
Oh,
China.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. We better be grateful for what we have in this country.
Oh,
I'm not trying to get political, but I'm telling you.
No.
I get you.
And I saw how they made all the little toys for the for
Happy
DC
Meals?
and Marvel, all the Marvel toys.
Oh.
I saw it. I saw that, you know, and it's a fascinating place, you know. It's like
So was that I have not seen that one. So is it about, are you touring these places as part of this movie?
in this movie, yeah. Well, we made the movie. We filmed it at a factory in China, and this movie is about 3 engineers and the double lives they live. You know, here they're married, and when they're in China, it's a free for all.
Oh.
You know, you go there, you have a
So
good time.
3 engineers from the United States that go to China.
To China,
Oh,
and while in China, you know, they do whatever they want.
it's a New Vegas, huh?
Yes.
Whatever happens in
And
China
what happens in
stays
China stays in China. You know, it's a
What do you say?
fascinating place. I tell you a quick story. You know, you see McDonald's, Starbucks. Starbucks has the same taste everywhere you go. And I'm going to tell you this. The Chinese, not a Starbucks, because the Starbucks will taste the same here, China, and Japan. But the Chinese, some of the best coffee I had in my life, it was in China. An incredible coffee. I'm with a friend of mine.
That's a long way from Colombia.
Yes. Well, we reversed. Anthony Moss and I, we were the leading actors in The Grass Grows Green.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I was the lead. He was the co-protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
When we made the China project, we switched roles.
Oh, gotcha.
And I tell you this story quickly. When I made the China project, I started to wear glasses for the first time, and I had a goatee, and I let my hair grow. I can't grow hair on the top anymore. So it's just kind of like your wig to the side only now. And,
You and the proud here, buddy.
Yeah, and so I told him, I said, "Hey man, I think they're following us." I said, "Dude," he said, "Stop being a cop." I said, "My man, I am telling you, they are following us. And we were already warned that this might happen. Can you blame the Chinese for doing this? Hell no. You got a bunch of foreigners coming to your land,
Right.
making a film." And I said, "Dude, they're following us." I said, "Watch. We're going to make them. I already made them, but I'm going to prove to you that they're following us." They were following us when we were at a Starbucks, when we went to the Apple store, and then we went to another store, and I said, we're going to sit down outside and watch what happens. There was a female and a male. And we went outside. I said, "I guarantee you it's going to take 5 minutes before they come over." And they talked to us. The female sat just not even I don't know, 15, 20 yards away from us. And I told Anthony Moss, that's my co-star, he's the lead, I'm the co-star now in the China project, and we're in China filming. And we went from Hong Kong to the mainland. And I said, "Dude, man, they're following us, I'm telling you." "Ah, man, you're crazy. You're always thinking like a cop." I said, "Just give me 5 minutes, you watch. Let's go outside." So the lady comes up to the table and basically says, "How you doing, guys?" In plain English. Smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee. She's like, "Do you mind if I sit down?" "No, please sit down." She's asking, "Where are you guys from?" So "We're from the United States." And then she looked at me and said, but where are you from originally?" I said, "Venezuela. I'm an immigrant, It's like, I live in the U.S. now. I'm a citizen of the U.S. And the question that she asked me was, "What do you think about Comrade Vladimir Lenin?" Vladimir Lenin. Because she looked at me and said, "You look like him." And it was because I'm wearing glasses. I got that kind of almost like a Van Dyke goatee and bald at the top, hair all around my ear. And I said, "Well, he deserves to be a study." That was my answer. He deserves to be a study.
So what was her? Who did she end up being?
I have no clue. I think she was just.
But they've been following you.
She was probably a member of the Communist Party.
The Communist Party.
And can you blame them?
No,
You can't. Look, if I'm the government, it is my duty to make sure that we don't have any spies.
Yeah, that we know who's in our country.
Exactly. Who is in my country? I can't blame them. They have their laws.
What'd your co-star think about that?
He just looked at me and said, "Damn, dude."
Being a cop paid off. See, I knew she was following us.
Even to this day, it's like, I'm sure it happens. It happens with anybody who has been in the military. You involved in the type of business that you do, you realize when people are talking about certain issues, man, you're full of crap.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about this new one.
Which one?
The Kick Me.
Kick Me.
Let's talk about Kick Me.
It's a feature film.
And we're gonna throw either part of the trailer or the trailer on here. But so tell us what's going on here, because there's a lot that happens in a very short period of time in that trailer with the bunny.
Yes, basically It is about a very benevolent, naive school counselor
Okay.
who goes out to buy his daughter a bunny.
Bunny. Okay, so that's where the bunny comes in.
Yes. And because she wants a pet. And he finds himself running for his life in the beautiful city of Kansas City, Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas.
You know, he is also trying to help one of his students in this process.
And gets tied up with people
He's tied up.
shooting at him. And
he doesn't believe in violence. And ultimately, he realizes that he has to protect himself if he wants to survive.
yeah. Yeah, interesting trailer.
Yes, it is.
And that leads me to...
Did you like my butt?
I saw your butt a lot in that
That
trailer.
was a sweet ass, dude. Somebody shaved for days before that.
I
scene.
sure did. How do you know? I watched it.
I know my own audience, brother.
You were heavier in that movie.
I was
than
more
what you are.
muscular.
Yeah,
I was actually
I mean,
more
you
muscular.
were
Yeah.
like you
Yes.
were a lot bulkier than I've
Yes,
ever
I was
seen.
more. You have to understand one thing. We started pre-production for this movie 10 years ago.
Oh, holy crap! I didn't know that.
10 years ago. And we raised the money. We got a couple of grants. And it was a, what is it called?
GoFundMe.
Fund Me.
Kickstarter.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. Kickstarter.
And this is another Gary.
This is
Yep.
a Gary Huggins movie.
right?
And we shot part of that film at Ward High School.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I
allowed us-
recognize a lot of different places. When I watch those movies like First Aid and Kick Me, I recognize a lot of persons.
the-
My son does have a question from the trailer.
The famous line is,
He wants to know,
I'm not afraid of Kansas City,
are you
Kansas.
scared of Kansas City, Kansas?
I am not afraid of Kansas City, Kansas. I am not afraid of Kansas City, Kansas.
I'm
I
not
am.
afraid.
I am not afraid of Kansas City, Kansas.
So my son this morning called like 5 minutes before you got here. He's like, hey, I got a question about blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, I might have to call you later. I said, Santiago's on his way. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, hey, can you ask him one question for me? And I said, what? And he goes, ask him if he's scared of Kansas City, Kansas.
Well, I'm not afraid of Kansas City, Kansas. Well, you know, Kansas City, Kansas has been the punching bag in the metro area.
Absolutely.
You know that. You live here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, not just Kansas City, Kansas, but Wyandotte County
Right.
in general. For better or worse, you know, this is where we live, and we got to do the best of it.
Yep, exactly.
Wait, Wyandott's a punching bag? For like jokes or something?
everything.
Surely that's not for Johnson County people.
My Johnson County friend.
Johnson County, oh, gosh. Sir, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Are you afraid of Kansas City, Kansas?
I mean, not right now. I'm wearing my Kevlar. I'm good. I'm good. I got a tan.
He is afraid of Kansas City.
But, you know, we know that 99% of the people that live in this county, in this city, are great people.
Yes.
Good
Oh,
people.
of course.
We know
Yeah.
that. Hardworking people.
Yeah.
Blue collar people.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep, absolutely.
You know, we use we exploit the idiosyncrasies and the stereotypes that take place. Life is like that.
Well, every community has it.
You know?
I mean, it's
Yes.
just, you know.
You know,
So if somebody, where can somebody see Kick Me?
Kick Me right now is actually, believe it or not, is playing outside the United States more
Right.
than it has played in the U.S.
Really?
You know, right now you're shooting this using cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure most of the cell phones are shooting at either 2 or 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are shooting at a higher level. The problem, you can make a movie with anything, you know, again, with your cell phone.
Right.
Sure. The problem is distribution. When you make an indie film, 99% of the indie films that we're making, I'm not talking about a $20 million Hollywood film that they call indie film.
Right.
No. Talking about poor people making films and saying, hey, look, I'm going to provide food for you. You know, you may have to pay the cinematographer a couple of $100 for them to be there because of the equipment and the stuff like that, or the grip. And the problem is distribution.
Right.
Distribution is the most difficult thing. Kick Me premiere in San Francisco, and we won Best Action Comedy. Wow. Then it goes to Wisconsin, and we win Best Director. Comes to Kansas City, and I wasn't expecting this. I did not go to the award ceremony. I'm, you know, when I get a phone call and they say, hey, you are the best actor in a feature film.
And you just let me right in because I was going to bring that up
And
and
I'm
ask
like,
you if
what?
it was for this film.
And now, next month, we're going to play in Australia.
Yeah.
We're going to play in Italy. In September, we are going to play in Japan, Kanazawa, Japan. And we're very proud of every film festival. We just won in Brazil at the largest genre film festival in Latin America. We won Best Film under $150,000. The Japanese are very excited with us. This week I was just in touch with the Japanese because they're doing all the translation for the film. Mm-hmm. I actually wrote a poem for the movie, and that poem was made into a song that is in the movie.
Is in the movie now?
It's in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine who is a phenomenal. This guy is. I call him in Spanish. I call him mil usos, which translates as 1,000 usages. He's the man of 1,000 faces.
Yeah.
Because this guy he has a small part in the movie. He's a professional clown. He's a professional DJ. He's a professional musician. He's from Guatemala, Angel Lemus, and he says, hey, brother, come over to the house. We're going to have lunch together. We're going to have plenty of coffee from Guatemala, and we're going to turn that poem into a song. I told Gary, hey, you need a song? I got it. So I said, man, dude, I'm going to write a poem right now for that. I'm not a musician, but I can rhyme. So I did it, and we transformed with these two other brothers, and a 13-year-old kid, came up with a melody. The son of Angel Lemus.
Wow.
It went, I think it sounds like this. Bum, 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 bum. And the two brothers, the two other musicians, they ask, hey, they're like, Mr. Vasquez, Santiago, can we make some changes to some of the words so we can rhyme it better? You can do whatever you want. So I wrote the whole entire poem. I could have been a bunhole and say, no, it's my song. Mm-hmm. Say, no. Everybody gets credit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody got credit. So it's now in it, and now the Japanese are translating that song
into
Japanese, so that it makes sense to the people in Japan.
So no one can see it, right? There's no place anybody can see it
right
in
now.
the States.
No, right now, because we're hoping that we can get distribution here in the United States. Gotcha. We have a distributor from France that is helping us out distributing the film all over the United States.
Maybe if it gets enough traction internationally, somebody
we're hoping
will pick it up.
Yeah. We're hoping that
it looks like a great movie.
It is a crazy great movie.
So what are you working on now?
Right, I just finished a short film with a local filmmaker called John Ramirez. It's about the film is about the relationship between a father and son, and I'm basically playing two different characters: the father who is an asshole, and the father who is trying to find redemption with his son.
Yeah.
And now I'm making another short film in which I play the stepfather to a young lady, and they are dealing with the death of wife to the stepfather. And I think it's going to be a compelling film. We're scheduled to finish the short film on August the 13th, and I'm working with this group of super talented. We only have two actors in this film, myself and Rachel. Rachel is a phenomenal local actor, she's a trained actor who I met on a set. You know, I'm the type of guy that I talk to anybody on the set.
Right.
I never isolate myself. I rather talk to the crew.
Sure.
I talk to the crew and I talk to the guys that have this very minimalistic part in the films, and I always tell them, because they're young, they're working for nothing, for peanuts.
Yeah.
And I tell them, if you're making a film, let me know and I'll be there for you. As long as you feed me and you have plenty of coffee for me, I'll be there.
Coffee and Taco Bell.
That's right, coffee and Taco Bell. So that's how I met Rachel.
I didn't even get the tone. I asked him, what can I have for you? He just said plenty of coffee. So I didn't even get the Taco Bell.
I forgot the chalupas.
Yeah.
So
you got a lot of irons in the fire. Even you're constantly doing something.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're using my paintings in the film.
Nice.
And you know, I don't think I have any talent. I don't consider myself a talented person. To me, I don't think there is a muse. Yes, there are people who inspire you, and that's your muse.
Yeah.
But the muse happens when you say, I got to do this.
Yeah.
That's when the muse happens, you know. A writer has to sit down behind the typewriter for hours at a time, you know. Look at Ernest Hemingway. If you look at some of his drafts, red ink everywhere. And he said, you know, I'm paragraphing here. He says, that's why you need an editor, you know, and a lot of whiskey. And Cuban cigars,
That's
you know.
right.
Absolutely.
That's how he did it, you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So you mentioned when we were on break a project that you're writing right now.
I'm writing, yes. I'm now writing. I got a couple of projects. I got several, you know, in my head. You know, you start writing notes, and I want to do this project about this guy who is totally infatuated with wrestling, professional wrestling, and Pulp Fiction detective stories. You know, he's retired. He doesn't know what to do with his life. He loses his mind. And he has to have a sidekick, kind of like Batman and Robin, the Green Hornet and Kato, and Don Quixote de la Mancha and Sancho Panza. So that's one project that I'm working on right now.
Interesting.
You know, it's got to be at least 90 pages, so an hour and a half.
Nacho Libre meets Pulp Fiction.
Exactly.
We'll call Jack Black.
You know.
Well, plus you also have your dojo.
I have my little dojo.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it should be a non-profit. I don't even have a sign. I don't even have a sign on the little dojo, you know, and it's something that it keeps my head level.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for my soul. I love training, keeping my body in shape. You know, I love the martial arts.
Yeah. You just won a tournament not long ago.
Say that again?
You just won a tournament not too long ago as well.
Yeah. I came out of retirement.
Yeah.
I hadn't done any tournament competition for 15 years plus.
Well, I heard that you not only won your age or weight category, but you also ended up winning across all age categories.
Yes. First of all, I did what is called the kata, the forms, you know, because at my age, I just turned 59. Just on July 24th.
You don't look a day over 58.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so cute. My dear friend of mine, Robert Bond, Sensei Robert Bond, he was put in the tournament, and he had over 200 competitors overall. And there were 5 different black belt divisions, you know, and so I competed in the 50 and up. They had like 5 or 6 people competing. I was the oldest one, and I won. And then I was told that I needed to go for the Grand Championship against kids between the ages of 18 to 25, then 30 to 40, 49, 40 to 49. I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm going to compete against these young people. So what I decided to do was, I'm very flexible. If you look at my Facebook, I can still do the splits in between chairs and stuff like that.
The Van Damme splits.
Exactly. The Van Damme, split. So I decided to do a form, a kata, that required a lot of kicking, and I ended up winning the Grand Championship.
So he put that on there. I said, so in other words, you're a badass. Just go ahead and say you're a badass.
No, I'm just, you know, glad that I was able to compete again.
Yeah. All right, so we're running short on time.
Yes.
I want to ask you the questions that came in online.
Go ahead.
Right.
The first thing I'm supposed to ask you is about the Wyandotte County three-legged dog.
Oh my gosh. The infamous Kansas City, Kansas three-legged dog, scientifically known as the Quinderos caninus.
Quinderos canine.
The Quinderos caninus. It is, according to the legend, it happened in the, someone, I don't know if this is true, allegedly National Geographic Discovery came to Kansas City to investigate this issue. It actually made the pitch. It was in the Pitch Weekly, by the way. Mm-hmm. This dog, and this is also according to Dr. Turney and Dr. Lightfoot. I don't want to reveal their real names.
Yes.
They're doctors. They got their degree in Tijuana, Mexico. This is a combination of the now extinct Australian Tasmanian tiger, which is actually a marsupial.
In relation to the chupacabra?
That's a possibility.
Okay.
The DNA hasn't proved it yet.
Gotcha.
But allegedly he came here to Kansas City, and it was a cross-breeding situation that took place with the dog from Quindaro.
Are we talking about an animal or
We're talking
Santiago?
about we're talking
I'm not
about
sure.
we're talking about the Quinderos caninus,
The three-legged dog.
the three-legged dog. It was a cross
Okay.
between the Tasmanian tiger
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
and the street dog from Quinderos. It was actually, you know, we also have the Quinderos felinus and the crack sniffer, but that's a different story.
He's
Well, no,
right
that's-
here.
that's-
He's right here.
The next question was about the KCK crack
These two
sniffer.
dogs were crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the marsupial, the Tasmanian tiger, and the Kansas City street dog. And he came out with only 3 legs.
And kangaroo get pulled into
And he came out with only 3 legs. And ever since then, we got this super aggressive 3-legged dog from KCK.
I still don't know what the hell it is.
And that's a true story. You know,
don't
listen.
It's funny that you brought up one of those
Yes.
because the next question was about the KCK crack sniffer.
Oh. Well, I don't want to, we ran out of funds at that time. We were trying to get a canine to do our drug searches.
Right.
And we couldn't get a canine, and we were trying, and we came up with the amazing crack sniffer, this unknown creature that, once again, it was found in the Quindaro Boulevard area that we have to utilize to sniff crack. And we had several hits. We actually end up getting several kilograms of cocaine thanks to the crack sniffer. And I cannot tell you more about it, because if I were to tell you more about it, I will have to, literally speaking, kill the 2 of you.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Please don't do that. Yeah.
It's covert.
Right.
Yeah, and no, even the freedom of information will allow you to know more about this thing.
It was actually one of your one of the doctors you mentioned that submitted those.
Oh,
To speak with you about those
I'm
things,
sure
to
it was
ask you
probably
about those.
Dr. Turney.
It was Dr. Turney.
Yes. What a great. That guy's truly an erudite of epic proportions. I mean, it's just,
I so need to get a thesaurus in a dictionary.
You do.
I know, listen, that guy.
Like I said, this guy knows better English than you and I combined.
Hey, he truly deserves the Nobel Prize in some kind of a science. I don't know what science.
Santiago, we appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you.
There's a lot more stuff we could talk about.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so much more, man! What a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
And
likewise.
I'm starstruck, honestly, as a big movie fan and film and cinema fan. It's great to meet you, and
Well, listen,
I can't wait to see your movies once somebody gets distribution figured out in the United States, because we're a hot mess over here.
Yeah, look, it's tough to make movies, and if you're out there, support your local artists, your local businesses. If you live here, buy here, spend here, whatever the deal might be.
Yeah.
And if anybody has a podcast, listen to them. It's just making movies. Indie movies is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know where I can get a couple of fools when I make a movie.
Absolutely.
Boom. Fool number one, fool number two.
I'm there, baby. I'm there. All you got to do is say the word.
Hey, as long as there's Taco Bell and coffee involved,
There we go.
I think we're good.
There we go.
Taco Bell whiskey.
Whiskey.
And
We
whiskey.
do
And that's
better.
it.
We do better after we've had a few whiskeys.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. He gets
Thank you.
sloppier.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I
We appreciate it. We'll put any links you want us to put. We'll include in the bio. Want everybody to go and check him out. I know we found a lot of information on IMDb for you.
Very
and
impressive.
We'll put any links that we can. Matt, do you want to tell everybody how they can check us out and where they can follow us at?
Absolutely, guys. As always, thank you for following. We are at TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audacity, Facebook as Barstool Breakdowns. We are Barstool Guys on Twitter. So follow us, enjoy, like. We appreciate all the followership that we've picked up over the last couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to getting even more followership and getting some more guests on the show, like Santiago. Of course, we've kind of set the bar high now with our Venezuelan friend here.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if we can top this.
Oh,
I don't think we'll ever be able to.
They have big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Chicken
Thank
plucker.
you again. Appreciate it. Chicken
Stay safe.
plucker. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Santiago.
Thanks, everybody.